All right, we're ticking right along and we're in lesson number 14 now. Again, a short video focusing on a specific challenging behavior. In this case, what I've called shockers. These are behaviors that occur when a person acts out in a way in public that really creates kind of a spectacle. And what typically happens in these situations is that everybody else who's with that person has a stronger stress response than the person does. They seem not to care that other people are looking or that they're creating a disruption, but everybody else does. You probably have a friend who's like this, I might point out. They think it's hilarious to embarrass you in public, to make you turn red-faced, and they don't have anywhere near the same sensitivity, so you can't return the favor. Well, that's common for a lot of the people we work with. They either don't know or don't care about the social expectations. So they do things in these circumstances that are not necessarily terrible, but that just really make all the eyes and ears in the place turn to you. How do we manage them? Well, we remain calm. That's one of the most important things because the person is probably looking for that reaction from you and everybody else. So we don't want to give some inadvertent reinforcement. We want to manage the audience and environment. Perhaps we ask other people to look away or reassure them that we have things in control, or even just gradually move away from people or have them move away from us. Often it's as simple as us not having a strong response. So we can set a limit and redirect the person. Something like, all right, Susie, if you can get back on track, we'll move on to this. But again, we have to have this incredibly dispassionate tone of voice and behavior. We have to be very businesslike and neutral and simply not give the person what they're looking for. In other words, an extinction response. And there's something I really want you to think about here, and that is more of a cognitive process. And that is that we often take on the burden of being embarrassed for people when it's not our work to do so. If that person isn't embarrassed, then we shouldn't be embarrassed because it's their behavior. And so as staff people, we often think, oh, the world is looking at us. But really, they're looking at that individual. They're not expecting necessarily that you'll know what to do. And even if they do expect that, that's not really of any concern to you. You can't change other people's perceptions. Once again, there's a lot of work you can do in terms of prevention, thinking ahead about the environment you'll be in. For example, if you know that a person has particular challenges in certain settings, you might go at times or in through entrances that have a few less eyes and ears around. You might choose to sit in the place that has less of an audience. You might offer choices to the person so that rather than them feeling like they don't have power, they can express what they want in ways that are more socially desirable. So for example, if a person is trying to demand that they get to go on a certain ride at the P&E, you might actually offer them the chance to do that after they've done something else or before something else that they prefer. And giving people predictability so that they know what's coming next and that therefore have less of a strong reaction. Reward people when they accept no or limits in their life. When people are told that something isn't going to go their way, we all get struggled with this. We all get challenged by this. But most of us quickly become capable of adapting. We go to our mailbox to see that something is that was supposed to come didn't come. We don't spend all day fretting about it. We kind of move on. We ask our boss for a day off and the boss says, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Chances are most of us have learned to have some ability to accept that. But many of the people we have supported haven't really developed those muscles. So when we notice that a person handles no better than they did last time, take note of it, successfully approximate it, and give them praise and rewards. And one of the most important things that you can look for is people understanding how to end an activity. Accepting that something is over is a real skill. And remember the Premack principle. If you want people to leave an activity that is their favorite, then we have to think about whether or not that activity has something on the other end of it that will be motivating for them to leave, such as a meal or going and being with somebody they really like. Here's an example for you. Kyla loves the buffet at the Lucky Jade Garden Goldfish Fortune restaurant so much that she hates to leave. When staff tell her it's time to go, she takes her top off in the middle of the restaurant. How would you respond? Think about what you would do, think about how you would do it, and think about what you would not do. And what could staff have done in this case to make it less likely this problem occurred in the first place?